Hello, it's April and welcome to my toy world. Today we have some fun Safari Ltd tubes to open up. We have the Australian Continent tube and the European Animals tube. So let's go ahead and get started with the Australian Continent Animals tube. Here are all of the interesting Australian continent animals that are in this tube here that we'll go ahead and open up and check out. Okay, let's go ahead and check out the first animal in our Australian continent tube. This looks like a really interesting lizard here. This is a frilled lizard. Look at this frill around its face here. That looks like a very interesting kind of lizard. So a frilled lizard. Go ahead and put that here. Next, we have this adorable little creature here. This creature looks so cute. Look at his little face there. This is a wombat. So a wombat from Australia. And we've got a bird here. This is a beautiful bird. It's a pretty green color here with a blue beak. This interesting bird is called a kakapo, and it is a kind of parrot that lives on the ground and doesn't fly. It's a very heavy parrot. So such an interesting kind of bird. A kakapo. I'll put that one here for now. Here's our next very unique creature here. This is a platypus. You can see the platypus has this bill on the front of its face here, like a duck bill. A bill on this platypus here. You can see his long flat tail here. And his hands and feet look like they're very good for swimming. So a platypus. This is an interesting kind of bug from the Australian continent called a weta. It's a very large bug. Look at the legs and how interesting they look. So this interesting insect is called a weta. Here's our next animal, and this is a crocodile. Look at this really cool green crocodile here. It's really neat. So a crocodile, put that in our water there. Next we have another interesting kind of bird. This is a kiwi. Look at its long beak here, and its sort of round shaped body here. Here's its legs and feet. So a kiwi. Okay, we have two animals left from the Australian continent, and here is our next one. This is a kangaroo with her little Joey in her pouch. I think that is so cute. This Joey is totally adorable, peeking out from its mother's pouch. So a cute kangaroo and kangaroo baby called a Joey. So there's that. It's a very adorable kangaroo there. Look at its face and the little baby's face down there. So cute. Okay, we'll put that one there. Here's our last animal from the Australian continent. This is a tuatara, and this is a kind of a reptile. They live in New Zealand, which is close to Australia, part of the Australian continent. And you can see it looks a lot like a lizard, but this is a kind of reptile. Look at its tail. It looks a lot like a crocodile. What an interesting reptile, a tuatara. So that was the last animal from our Australian continent. So now let's go ahead and take a look at our European animals tube. Okay, so here is our European animals tube. Let's go ahead and take out our first animal here. Ooh, it looks like we have some sort of a fish here. This is a Wells catfish. So a kind of a catfish here, a Wells catfish. It's a really interesting looking catfish there. Put that in our water. Here's our next European animal. This is a red deer. Red deer are beautiful deer. Look at the antlers. So there's our beautiful red deer. Put him back here. Here's our next animal here. This is a chamois antelope. So a kind of an antelope called a chamois antelope that lives in Europe. It's very neat. Look at the horns on that and the stripe on its face here and down its back. Put that there. Here's our next European animal. This is a boar. You can see the tusks on the side of its face. Looks a bit like a pig, but this is a boar. So a boar. Next we have this interesting animal. This is an eel. So an eel to live in the water there. Look at that. Look at how skinny and long this eel is. That is the eel. Put that in the water too. Then here we have a beautiful bird. This is a Eurasian sparrowhawk. So kind of a hawk. This is beautiful. I love hawks. I think they're beautiful. I like the pattern here on its chest, sort of a reddish color, and then gray feathers with some white. Looks like bright orange feet there. So a Eurasian sparrowhawk. That's neat. Next we have one of my favorite European creatures here. This is a badger. This is a European badger. Look at its cute little face with its white stripes. I think these kind of badgers are just adorable. So a badger. And at the end I'll be setting all these animals up in our diorama for one last look. And we have 2 animals left. Here is a very interesting bird. This is a capercaillie, a western capercaillie. It's a very pretty bird. Look at its feathers here, how they fan out. And they've got these feathers here on the sides. So a capercaillie kind of a bird. And lastly, we have another kind of a bird called a white stork. So this is a stork, a white stork. So it's really long legs here. It's a pretty big bird, I think. So a white stork. So we opened up some really interesting animals today from the Australian continent and Europe. I'm going to go ahead now and get our animals set up in our diorama for one last look. So I've set up all of our animals in our diorama here. Let's go ahead and take a close-up look. Hope you enjoyed checking out all of these wonderful animals today from the Australian Continent Tube and European Animals Tube from Safari Ltd. And I hope everyone is having a great day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll talk to you later. Goodbye.